all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is Thursday, the 18th of July. The big news first. In a major boost to India's cause, the International Court of Justice has directed Pakistan to suspend the death sentence against Kulbhushan Jadhav, a former Indian naval officer. Jadhav, remember, was arrested by Pakistani authorities in March 2016 on charges of espionage and sabotage, a case that has strained the already tense relations between India and Pakistan. The International Court directed Pakistan to provide effective review and reconsideration of his conviction and sentences and affirmed Jadhav's right to consular access and notification. Let's move on to the other big news. The Cabinet approved changes to the bankruptcy law yesterday, and let me tell you about a couple of the main changes. First off, there's been an attempt to add clarity on the inclusion of alternative restructuring schemes such as mergers, demergers and amalgamations as part of the restructuring process. The bill also proposes to extend the deadline for completing insolvency resolution from 270 days to 330 days, including the time spent in litigation or judicial process after the plan is admitted. Now, there are a few more changes apart from that, and you'll find all of those in the story on the website bloombergquint.com. The National Company Law Appellate Tribunal has asked the lenders to JP Infratech to submit the terms and conditions for bidders in the resolution process of the company before Friday. The interest of the home buyers, the tribunal said, will have to be protected by the resolution applicant. In earnings, Yes Bank returned to profitability in the first quarter after an unanticipated loss in the previous quarter, but the profits fell far short of expectations, coming in at 114 crore rupees. Asset quality was a major drag this time around too, with gross bad loans rising to over 5% of assets from 3.2% in the previous quarter. Ratings agency CARE Ratings has sent its managing director Rajesh Mokashi on leave with immediate effect. The decision was taken after an anonymous complaint received by markets watchdog, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, was forwarded to the agency, according to a statement released just yesterday. Arun Kumar, the current executive director in charge of ratings, has been appointed interim chief executive officer. In international news, Iran Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has told Bloomberg that the US shot itself in the foot by abandoning the Iran nuclear accord. He offered little hope for restarting talks with President Trump's administration. He also criticized European countries for not carrying out their obligations under the deal and reiterated that Tehran won't pursue atomic weapons. He also said Iran could shut the Strait of Hormuz, but it doesn't want to. In international markets, US stocks fell as investors assessed mixed corporate earnings amid concerns over the US-China trade war. The Dow and the S&P 500 ended lower by 0.4 and 0.6% respectively, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq lost 0.5%. Netflix was the standout loser, falling 11% in late trading. Treasuries rallied and gold, which is viewed as a safe haven, rose 0.9% to $1,423 to a troy ounce. In Asia this morning, all three early risers have begun in the red. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Darshan. How are we looking today?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. Global cues are slightly muted and the SGX Nifty is also indicating a negative outlook as of now. In terms of results today, L&T Infotech, ACC, Colgate-Palmolive, Cyient, DB Corp, Hudson Agro, Pioneer Distilleries, Rallis India, Sasken Technologies, Sterlite Technologies, as well as Trident will report numbers. In terms of numbers after market hours, Yes Bank reported a weak set of numbers. NII was up 2.8%, profit was down 90%, provisioning was up 2.8 times. The gross NPA came in at 5% versus 3.2% QOQ, and the net NPA came in at 2.91% versus 1.86%, that too on a QOQ basis. CLSA has cut the target price to 110 from 150, citing asset quality drag. Morgan Stanley is saying that the key negative was weaker than expected progression on the key matrices. Credit Suisse has cut the target price from 205 to just 94, saying that the drop in CASA deposit highlights pressing recap needs. And Phillip Capital has cut the target price to 85 from 170 as stress book aggravated further. Wipro came out with numbers which were slightly weak. IT services revenues were down 1.8%, overall revenues were down 2.5%, net profit was down 3.7%, the EBIT was down 9.2%, which means EBIT margins of 16.6% versus 17.8% last time around. The second quarter FY20 IT services constant currency revenue guidance is now at 0 to 2% quarter on quarter. CLSA says that the margin beat is there, but the levers are unsustainable at the current growth rate. And Macquarie is saying that the uncertainty still persists around manufacturing and healthcare business. Mindtree also weak set of numbers. Dollar revenues up 0.8%. The overall revenues were flat. Profit was down 53%. EBITDA down 31%. Increased employee cost weighed in on the operating matrices. There was a one-off of 220 basis point hit was because of the special payment to employees of Mindtree, and the management expects revenue growth and margins to improve from the second quarter. DFM Food, good set of numbers, revenues up 30%, profit up 50%, EBITDA up 34%, and they will commission a new line which will add 5,000 MT per annum capacity. Reliance Power will be in focus. ICRA has downgraded borrowings worth 8,000 crores to default. Punjab and Sindh Bank reported fraud of 238 crores in Bhushan Power and Steel, and a provisioning of 190 crores has been made. Dewan Housing has defaulted in payment of NCDs amounting to 23 crores. Torrent Pharma has said that the US FDA has classified the company's Dahej facility as official action initiated. This is the second largest US supplying plant for Torrent. Allahabad Bank has reported fraud of 688 crores in SEL manufacturing, and Amanza Holding acquired 9 lakh shares in Sudarshan Chemicals. Bank of America Merrill Lynch note on auto says that they're lowering EPS by 2 to 10% and prefer four-wheelers over two-wheelers. Their cut is prompted by the low Q1 dispatches and muted first half outlook. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thank you, Darshan. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.